Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, it's me again. Lights are on, camera. Let me see myself. Where's the camera? Ah, there it is. Hello, guys. This is a lovely surprise. I'm sitting opposite someone amazing. But before I tell you who that is, I just want to say to every single person that's listening, new or old, welcome to Dots. You might be thinking, what is Dots? You've probably heard of it already, maybe. It is simplified as the Department of Talking Sense. And in this establishment, live and direct from Garrison Studios, we have someone with us that is a rocket in her industry, a powerhouse, someone that breaks down barriers, someone that has done incredible things, not just within the last 10 years, because I would say maybe her entire life is very intriguing. I'm not going to let you know how I know that, but her entire life has been very intriguing. Opposite me, I've got the fantastic, magnanimous, absolutely delightful Miss Hana Abdi, otherwise known as HanaCodes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I've never been described as a rocket before. I like that.
Yeah. Up to the stars.
A rocket.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I feel great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Birmingham enjoying it?
I don't know about that. But it's been a good time so far.
Excellent. So you guys might be thinking, wait a second, like, I swear she was, in another episode. Depending on, which episode gets uploaded first. I might have just spilled the beans. Might have. But that's for you to find out. Yeah? Hana has done incredible things. And for 10 years. And for you to still be shining. A lot of people came and they dwindled away. They became supernovas. Instead, you are the opposite. You are that star that's still shining within your industry.
Thank you.
From working with Uber, your incredible talks, AWS, and your accolades. Like, if you had a trophy, I'm thinking it would probably look like, I don't know, maybe Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
5 rings.
5 rings. I would say 10.
Do you think?
Back to back.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I'm going to start it off extremely easy for you.
Okay.
Yeah? HanaCodes.
Right.
Where did that come from?
That was a thought that I had when I took a career break. So I just left a toxic job. I just had a kid, and I went back to Hargeisa for like 3 or 4 months to just have a mental break. I was sitting there and I was thinking, there must be something. People are asking me for advice on tech. They're asking me to build their websites. They're asking me for social media help. There must be something that I could potentially build. The name HanaCodes, I honestly don't know where it came from. I think because I code, my name's Hana, I guess. It was easy to do that, but the business idea came from literally a late night thought.
Okay.
And I ran with it.
Okay. Okay. So today's specific topic and the conversation in general, yeah, it's about breaking down barriers within the tech industry.
Yeah.
And I think I'm so glad that you're here sitting opposite me, because I know a lot of people that do incredible stuff. And I think to the level that you are doing it, I don't know anyone. So, number 1, as a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, as a colored person. Yeah. And number 3, as a Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 big things.
They are.
But you are still breaking down the walls for other women to come. So when it comes to kind of like being not just, I would say, a voice for other women, yeah, what made you step into that position? What made you become someone that is trying and also kind of like doing her best at opening the doors for other women like yourself?
That's an easy question.
Okay.
I feel like because I didn't see many people like me when I first started, it was very much men, old white men. And when I would go to these networking events, I didn't feel welcomed or seen. I've always been a big networker. I've always think that you need to network in order to move forward in your career. But I didn't see anyone that looked like me. I was always questioned on what I've learned and my accolades, and do I actually know coding languages? Over the 10 years, I think I picked up over 50 coding languages, to be honest. But
Okay.
I'm always questioned till this day, even. So I thought, okay, so I don't have the space to be authentically myself. I need to constantly shout about the fact that I've got a degree, I've worked X amount of years in the industry, I've got to answer the weird, nerdy tech questions that these bros ask me to prove my accolades. And I thought, okay, cool, I need to start a community. And during COVID, I started a community called Bridge the Gap in Tech.
Okay.
And that community, there's over 5,000 people now, and it's all over the world. So we have people in Somalia, we have people in China, we've got Japan, we've got here, we've got everywhere. And I feel like it's connected people that are like look like me and are in that space. But also, I feel like actually showing my face at these events and taking up this space is equally as important, because if they get used to seeing me, they'll get used to seeing other people there. And they'll open the door to conversation with other people that look like me.
110%.
Yeah.
110%.
I'm cool with being uncomfortable. I think that's one of my things that helped me stay this long in tech.
Okay.
I'm fine with being the only person in the boardroom that doesn't look like you. I'm fine with being questioned because I'll question you right back. And I've done that many times in boardrooms.
Okay. And I think a lot of people also get this whole thing of imposter syndrome. Yeah. And obviously we're all human.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we all get doubts and, you know, self-belief issues and everything of that sort.
Yeah.
Just from, I would say, not even going back the full 10 years.
Yeah.
Within the last couple of years, have you kind of like been in a position where you thought to yourself, hold on a second, how on earth did I get here? Or kind of like, you know, that moment of self-doubt within you that you knew you should have not had,
Yeah.
but it built up inside somewhere?
It's a good question. I feel like every time I get awarded something, I think, are you sure? Me? Like, what have I actually done? I feel like with my career trajectory, I'm very much go, go, go.
100%.
And it's move on to the next thing. Okay, you've accomplished this, you've built this, cool, let's move on. There's always something better.
100%.
So I don't really, well, I try to now, but I didn't really take the time to like sit down and be like, wow, I've done all of these things and I've helped all of these people. So yeah, I think when I get awards or mentioned in a book or something, I think, whoa, like I actually did something. And I get a little bit of imposter syndrome.
But does that also give you a buzz at times?
100%, yeah.
Okay.
You have to rein it back in and celebrate yourself. I believe that.
Yeah.
And take the time to. And I've been incorporating that a lot more recently.
So you're giving yourself more grace as time goes on?
100%, and celebrating myself.
110%. I think
Yeah.
you should celebrate yourself.
You should.
With everything that you have done, everything that you've been a part of,
Yeah.
and everything that you've speared ahead. You should definitely celebrate yourself and give yourself as much grace as possible.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah? I've got a question for you. Yeah? Tech girly or startup? Like working just solely within the corporate world of tech, or are you
Yeah.
more leaning towards, you know what, I think I would dibble and dabble in startups, or maybe
you know
do my
what?
own thing?
I've always been a startup girly. I don't really like big corps. I tried the big corp thing. It wasn't for me. You're just a number. I don't like that.
Statistic.
Yeah. I've always, in my career, I think I've worked at like 4 or 5 startups.
Okay.
I was at a startup for the last 5 years. And I feel like you can actually make a difference in those spaces because you're there. Everyone knows who you are. They know your reason for being there. They know that your job title, you're not just a number. And I don't like that. I feel like big corps are for retiring.
100%.
So I think, don't quote me on this, but I think maybe in my 40s or 50s, I'd probably go somewhere like a big corp, maybe the top 5.
Okay, do you know what the craziest thing is? 40s and 50s Hannah, and I don't know why, I don't see her working for someone.
Do you know what? Everyone that meets me says that. I'm very much into building my own thing as well. But I feel like big corp is for retiring in that sense.
Okay, we'll leave that one for later because
Yeah.
I want to, inshallah, if we're alive by then, I'm going to try and hunt you down at 40, 50 and be like, hey,
where are you now?
yeah, are you in big corp right now, or are you
Or did your business idea
retire?
blow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking of business idea, you're working on something incredible.
I am.
I'm not going to say what it is. It's just, if you know, then you know.
I mean, we can mention it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
What is it that you're working on, and what is the, I guess, vision behind it?
So I really wanted to build something
Mm.
that creates a space for children as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's no coding spaces for children other than what they're learning in school.
Okay.
So I've created a platform for children to learn coding,
Mm-hmm.
and it's completely online.
Mm.
It's launching inshallah in the summer.
Inshallah khair.
And it's called Zap Squad. You can sign up to the waiting list.
Zap Squad.
Zap Squad.
I like that.
ZAPPsquad.com.
For us dyslexic people, thank you for spelling it out. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Which is super exciting. It's incorporating AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's all gamified. I know a lot of kids are playing Roblox and Minecraft nowadays. It's all gamified.
Okay.
So they learn through doing.
Okay, so just asking for a friend, that means my friend who's dyslexic can also play this, right?
100%.
Like, and it's all fun games
100%.
and learning how to code.
So age range is 8+.
Perfect. That would fit my friend.
8+. So yeah.
I like that. And I
Yeah.
can't wait to see it. And hopefully, if any of you guys do have kids, I'm expecting to kind of like see screenshots, just saying, "Hey, look at my kid. He's playing this game and he's
Yeah.
learning to code." Yeah, and I'm proud of you for that one, because I think for you to have been involved in everything that you have been, yeah, and you've done so many things, like I said again, for people of color, especially for women,
Yeah.
yeah, and now you're doing things for the next generation.
100%.
Because my biggest thing is all about grassroots.
Yeah.
Like, personally, I've always said you couldn't pay me enough to do anything and everything without me not remembering about the next generation. So let's just say, for instance, I'll give you a very good example. If I was in the tech world,
Yeah.
yeah, again, I don't know what C++, C++, or C dash dash or Python or Remedy is. I don't even know if Remedy is anything. Is there anything
I
called
don't
Remedy?
know what that is.
Do you know what? I might start something called Remedy now and tell them, yo, this is how you can learn to be undyslexic in coding.
Wow. That sounds like a
Smart,
vibe.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, brains up here. But yeah, again, like, I have no idea about any of those things, but I would always wish and I would always dream
Yeah.
that the next generation of kids could be in a much more better position than me. They could always get a leg up.
You say that, but it's never too late to start.
Oh,
like,
aye.
I've helped people in their 70s learn how to code.
70s?
Yeah. And they were really good at it.
70?
Very analytically minded. I feel like everyone can learn how to code. I feel like there's like this huge barrier to entry to be like, oh my God, you need to be a tech bro that wears a hoodie, that's in the dark with their laptop, coding away.
Okay.
But that's not true at all. That the whole narrative has changed. You just need internet and you need time.
And a lot of us have that. Yeah.
Internet and time and a laptop.
Okay, that's
You don't even need a
fascinating.
laptop sometimes. You just need a book and a pen. I learned how to code with a book and a pen. So
You're playing with me.
No, I'm dead serious.
So how does that... Okay, so imagine I'm a 70-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you are going to explain to me coding. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then imagine I'm a 2-year-old. Well, 2 is crazy. Imagine I'm a 5-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you are also going to explain to me coding and the easiest way to get it or
Yeah.
get into it. Yeah? How would you go about that?
I feel like it's the same for both ages.
Okay.
It definitely is.
This is
I try
interesting.
to relate it to something that they know.
Okay.
So with the older person, I'd probably teach them like how to make a cup of tea. So I say coding is like how you make a cup of tea. It's the steps. So what's your end goal? You're trying to make a cup of tea.
Uh-huh.
So what do you need to get there? You need to
Water.
put water in the kettle.
Yeah. Get the sugar and the tea
That's
bags.
a function. Cool. You need to switch it on.
Okay. See, I didn't even think of that.
You've run the code.
Uh-huh.
Now it's boiling.
Uh-huh.
That's the outcome of what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Now you need to reach this objective. So if the water has boiled,
Mm-hmm.
doing if statements here,
Mm-hmm.
then pour that into the cup.
Okay.
If else it didn't boil yet, then you need to do the steps again.
Okay.
Run the code again. And for a child, I'd teach it like a game.
Okay.
It'd be like, cool. So you want to get from A to B.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to get from this point to this point?
Mm-hmm.
How do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
And usually we use like building blocks or Legos with children because I've worked with children quite a lot. And they visually see it and they get it straight away. It's
Okay.
very, very easy to understand. Coding is very much building blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
I
getting
like
to
that.
an end goal. It's very easy.
I like
feel
that.
like people overcomplicate it and they see all this like color on the screen and it's like all this lines of code and you watch like movie that has this hacker and you're like, oh my
don't
God,
get me
there's all this
started.
stuff. And it's just a terminal running.
Oh my days.
It's
'Cause
not serious.
do you know what the crazy thing is, yeah?
Yeah.
I love the fact that you said that because I don't know if you've seen the movie Hacker.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, with what's his name?
I'm
Mr.
not good with names.
Chris Hemsworth.
Right.
Yeah, and he's like this super cold hacker and he was in prison and now he's in China. And I don't know why they always have it for China, but
I don't know.
yeah, shout out to China. Yeah, so, and the thing is, whenever I would see his computer, I would say, yeah, just skip. Because I'm seeing like 110 different lines and they're moving in the sound of light. I mean, they're moving in the speed of light.
Yeah.
So I've always thought like, when I used to watch them type of movies, or even like The Matrix, I'm seeing all of these numbers, zeros, ones, ifs, coulds, buds.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, brother.
Do you know what I
Too
do
much.
when I watch those movies? I pause it to look at what it's running. And usually it's very basic.
Do you know what I see when I pause?
What?
Yeah? Numbers and letters dancing. Because I thought dyslexia just applied to normal English.
It applies
It applies to Quran.
It applies to
It
everything.
applies to code.
It applies to everything.
So imagine I'm going through like, and this is one thing that really irritates me, yeah?
Yeah.
I love my dyslexia, by the way.
Some of the best coders I know are dyslexic.
I like that.
Yeah.
How do they go about things? Because for me, like I said, wallahi, no word of a lie. Some of the letters are twerking, other ones are doing backflips. Everything's just all over the place.
Oh, God.
So like for something like that, and for you to still thrive within that industry, and
Yeah.
I salute you off the hook, off the cap. My brother, congratulations and well done and see you tomorrow. Yeah? So that's how I've always thought about code. Interesting question for you.
Okay.
Yeah? If codes or if a program had a scent,
Oh,
yeah?
right.
So now imagine you're coding something and that code had a scent. Yeah? Or you had the ability to give those codes a scent.
Right.
Yeah? What type of sense would you think codes have?
Probably fruity scents. That's the first thing
Fruity.
that came to mind.
Okay.
I don't know why. That's the first thing that came to mind. Because I view code as art. for
100%.
me. So everyone has a different coding style.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell who's coded what based on what they've done.
Mm.
And I think for me, yeah, it would be fruit.
Okay.
Weird. I don't know.
That is
That's
very
the first
weird.
thing that came to mind.
Okay. Another one for
As
you.
a scent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a scent. Yeah?
Yeah.
Another one for you. If you had, or within 24 hours, you was trapped in one specific code language,
Oh, God.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you was that code, or you was that language,
Right.
and that's all you were speaking,
Okay.
and everyone else spoke normal English,
Yep.
yeah, and you was the only one like that for 24 hours,
Yeah.
what language would you be?
I'm being fun or problematic? I'm
You
being
choose.
practical or problematic?
You choose.
If I was
For 24 hours, you're stuck as this coding language.
I might as well have fun. I'll probably be JavaScript because no one understands it.
But then you have to communicate with everyone.
That's fine.
Okay.
No one understands it. Everyone loves it, but they don't understand it. And it keeps on getting more and more and more complicated. If I was going to be talkative and normal, I'd probably do Python because that's the closest one to language.
Okay.
English language.
Okay.
But problematic, JavaScript.
Okay. And can you just give us a quick little run through on the difference between Java,
JavaScript, yeah.
Python,
Right.
and this is something I'm also learning, by the way. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is something I'm learning more than you guys learning. Yeah. So hopefully we are sharing the same brain cells here.
Oh,
2.
what do you want to know?
Yeah.
They're completely different languages.
What is the difference between C and C++?
C and C++.
Because all I'm seeing is 2 pluses. Like this C has done extremely well compared to this one.
Okay, so languages are in categories.
Mm.
So you can either be a front end, back end, or full stack developer, or a mobile developer.
Okay, so
So
now
there's
there's
different
mobile.
languages for each thing.
Uh-huh.
So each thing has a function. There's some languages that are agnostic. You can use them in everything.
Okay, the non-believers.
So Golang's agnostic. You can do front end, back end databases with Golang. I know Golang too. Or you could do, like I said, JavaScript's problematic. So you could do JavaScript, but then also branch into things. JavaScript is a bit of a funny language. You can go into TypeScript. You can go into all this stuff. I'm full stack, so I have a bit of back end, front end, infrastructure, mobile, bit of everything. Can't really stick to one thing.
You're like the fun auntie at the parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lit.
So yeah, I don't know. Each language is different and beautiful in their own way. I feel like some people are very like religious on what language they do, and that's their thing. I was like that in the beginning when I first started. I did just Java, not JavaScript, just Java, and that's very clunky for like 6 years. That was my bread and butter. That's what the banks use. That's what fintech uses. That's like heavy machinery.
So if I wanted to create my own bank, like you'd be the person to shout, yeah?
No.
Oh. Then
I only do fun projects now or tech for good.
Okay.
I don't want to put more money in greedy people's pockets.
I'm not greedy, I'm very giving.
But you're going to create a bank.
Yeah,
It's very greedy.
No, my bank would be Robin Hood.
If you angle it in tech for good, then maybe.
Yeah, because I'll
That's
be
the
robbing
only
the
thing I do
rich and
now.
giving to the poor.
No.
No?
That sounds very crazy to me. I can't.
It's
I can't.
fun.
Illegal stuff is not my jam.
We'll make it legal.
Although, to be honest, the reason why I got into tech was because of hacking. But like,
So who did you hack?
don't worry about it.
Guys,
Don't
do
worry
the
about it.
research.
Don't know, find it. But like, it's
I don't know why that felt like a threat to me.
a little bit. We had this conversation today when I asked you if you Googled me. And I said, what did you find?
Yeah, and I didn't go in deep enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't.
I went like just at the
You're
tip
very
and I was like,
surface level. You're very LinkedIn. LinkedIn is what I want to show the world.
I didn't go on LinkedIn.
Okay, what
Shall I
did
tell you why?
do
Because
then?
it scares me.
So what did you do then?
Google.
And it just came up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mad.
Like and this is something I learned in school, which makes me
First page
feel
or third page?
fourth.
Crazy.
Yeah. So this is what I did. I wrote HanaCodes
Right.
plus career, and I pressed enter.
Okay.
Because for some odd reason, apparently that plus, there's a big thing.
There's another HanaCodes, by the way. But I've siphoned her out the internet. Shout out to HanaCodes.
My heart skipped 3 beats in that one.
Shout out to HanaCodes.
Shout out to HanaCodes indeed. Shout out to HanaCodes indeed. This is a bit scary. If I go missing, then I don't think they'll be able to find me anyways, because
No.
I'll be siphoned off the life. Disappeared. Again, you've got a very colourful background. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Very colourful. Yeah. A lot of stand-up talking, a lot of sitting down talking, a lot of...
Public speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Publicly, because you wouldn't be standing up and talking in your own room to your
You
walls.
never know. This is taking a weird turn.
Yeah. But I like it. Anyway, so like I said, your
Alright.
career path has been very dynamic.
Very squiggly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and very beautiful in its own way. Yeah. If you could go back in time,
Oh.
yeah, and I'm not talking about before you got into tech or like your first entry into tech. I'm talking about all the way back to, I would say, 17-year-old Hana.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had all the knowledge you have now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you do different? And would you still take the same career path?
I would say to her, don't go into pharmacy, because that's what I did first.
Okay.
Stop listening to your parents.
Okay.
Everyone thought that I just wanted to go into this computer science degree because that's a spider.
And
Start
it's
again.
gone. Yeah.
So I would say don't go into pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was very much pushed into the medicine route.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very big gamer back then.
Okay.
Still am.
Actually
I was
still plays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was avid. Like I had a gaming chair whole set up. I was like every single night I would pay for a number of hours.
Okay.
I would say don't feel pressured to listen to what your family's saying and like everyone around you and actually do what you want to do. I feel like I stumbled into computer science because I went to a PlayStation event. I say this all the time. It's like my origin story.
Okay.
I got invited to a PlayStation event because I was an avid gamer. So I was invited to play other people. This is when PlayStation 3 was launching.
Okay.
I have a whole T-shirt and it's crazy. There was like a blog post out somewhere. You probably find that on like the 10th page of Google somewhere.
Don't worry, I'm diving in.
I wasn't at HanaCodes at the time, so you need to search something else. But I met other developers that were women. Granted, they weren't black, they weren't Muslim, they weren't like, but they were women. So I had a conversation with them and kind of told them about my background and what I do and what I like. And they said, why haven't you done computer science? And I had a conversation with my parents, and they were like, "Oh, you just want to play games?
Mm-hmm.
You just want to build games?" And my thing was, yes, I do want to build games.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly enough, I've not built a game.
I think you should.
I've not built a game.
Yeah.
But it's very much don't listen to other people and just go for it, which I did eventually. I did like a year of pharmacy. I was really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I'm going to end up in like a supermarket somewhere as a pharmacist, or that's not really the life that I want. And I envisioned something bigger for myself, regardless of what other people thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I switched degrees.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was that change at the time?
Really hard.
Yeah.
I was one of the only women in my class. I was very much questioned on everything all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a lot of pressure to do good because I switched careers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very much go, go, go.
Mm.
So I think I got my first internship in my first year. Because I was like, if you're going to do this, you've got to go do it properly. And a lot of people were thinking about internships in their second year. And then I landed a role before I graduated.
MashaAllah.
Because I thought I need to prove myself and I need to do this. I also had a kid in that time frame.
Yeah. So how was that? The juggling life, now fresh mother, you know? And were you still married at that point? Or?
Yes, I was still
Okay, so how did that feel? Especially you got married in uni, if I'm
I got married
remember
in uni,
correctly.
yeah.
Yeah, so you got married in uni. Allahumma barak, you got pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, shortly after.
Yeah.
And then you became a mother before you finished uni.
Yep.
Yeah. How was that line? How did you feel?
That was hard.
Okay.
One, because I felt the pressure of proving myself. And then now I have this child that's growing inside me that I need to prove myself to as well. I think it was really hard. I was working as well at the time. A lot of pressure, honestly. I remember doing my third year exams fully, like 9 months pregnant.
9 months pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
That's wild.
I delayed my graduation by like a year. Because
Okay.
I was like, I don't want to be pregnant and graduating. That's crazy. Or just giving birth and graduating. That's crazy. And I got to have her at my graduation, which was awesome.
That's cute.
But no, I feel like it gave me a different sense, like a different drive to be like, you need to do this and you need to create a better life for yourself and for her. And yeah, I just wanted more. I feel like becoming a mum or like having that sense of like
responsibility, maybe?
responsibility.
Someone's now depending on you?
Yeah, you have to do good. Yeah.
Okay.
It was hard. Like I got a job straight away. I just gave birth. Like I had to hide that I had a kid for the longest. It was a very toxic environment.
Okay. So how did that shape your relationship at home then?
It was very difficult.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, I had like my mother and like other family supporting me, but it was very, very hard. The marriage part was a strain. Alhamdulillah, he was out the picture very early. But yeah, it was just very, very difficult. I wouldn't want to go back to that point. I feel like now life is like streamlined, alhamdulillah.
Of course.
But I feel like back then I was very much in survival mode and it was very much pressure every single day and I didn't realize it.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
And obviously, again, your work being a lot to do with empowering women, you know, and making sure that women's spaces are not completely isolated or shut down and it's not just a male predominant
space,
place.
yeah.
Have you come across any stories that have hit home? Or has someone come up to you, has someone even DM'd you privately to say, hey, listen, I came to this event or I came to your talk and...
All the time. I feel like that's one of the things that pushes me to keep doing it. So people will DM me and be like, hey, like I'm a mum. Or they'll come up to me at events and be like, hey, my mum, I really want to get into tech. It's amazing what you've done. Can we just talk through it? How are you dealing with the pressure? How do you navigate this? Or someone will be like, hey, like I'm really like 18-year-old will come up to me and be like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you think I should be doing this career path? Or like a career changer as well. There's been a lot of people that I've impacted, alhamdulillah. And I love it. I feel like that's the main thing that drives me. Yeah.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. And again, with a lot of people getting into tech.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
And there also being a lot of courses that are being sold, again, by some people that are...
Not great.
Yeah, and other people that are really good, Allah Mubarak. And obviously we've got the rise of AI and a lot of, how do I say, quote unquote, artificial intelligence coming about. What is your thought on that? Like, do you think like a lot of people are screaming, AI is going to take away our jobs. What's your thoughts on that? Where in the bench do you sit? Do you sit the for or against, and why?
Honestly, I feel like tech used to be this really like nerdy thing that I mentioned before, and now it's become really mainstream.
It became the cool kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone wants to be in tech. Everyone wants to be a software engineer, and then there's no like real grit behind it that I've noticed. AI, is it going to take your job? No, I generally don't think it's even there yet. Honestly, it feels like a pressure cooker like at the moment. Every time someone says to me they want to break into tech, to play devil's advocate right now, it feels like, why are you doing it? Did you hear that you're going to make 60k?
Money.
Did you hear this? Did you hear that? It was good to go after money, but I feel like money is not going to help you when the pressure comes around.
100%.
It's not going to help you when you need to be working crazy hours and you're like, why did I do this? You need to have passion behind it. I feel like AI is like the new... Did you get into NFTs?
I created some.
Okay.
Yeah, but...
And that died really quickly. Everyone jumped into it.
Yes.
Put 50, 60k into it.
People put
and
hundreds
then-
of thousands,
yeah, I
even
know,
millions,
I
which
know.
is crazy.
Which is crazy
Yeah.
for a digital image.
Exactly.
And it flopped.
Yeah, but I think the ones that flopped, again, like, I have to pay homage to a couple of ones that have done amazing stuff, such as, let's just, for example, Crazy Ape
Right.
or the Ape Club.
But they went off, like,
Yeah.
and they did something else.
Something's outside
It's
in the
not
real
just
world.
NFTs in that
Exactly.
sense.
So when it comes to, I think,
Yeah.
from my side of things, I don't believe that AI is actually AI yet. Do you know what I mean? I don't think us as humans, we have reached that point where we can say, hey, we have AI.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So go on. What were you going to say?
I feel like AI...
Mm-hmm.
It's such a tricky like sphere because I love it. I use it like almost every day. And it's something that's added to my life rather than taken away from it.
100%.
And I feel like a lot of people are behind in the curve because they're scared of it. I've met a lot of people that have said to me, hey, like, what is this? Like, I've spoken at the AI summit like a couple of years in a row, and you meet like people that are like tin hat people and they're terrified. I've met tin hat people. Someone that came up to me and they're like, I don't have a phone, I don't have a laptop, I don't have none of this stuff. Wearing a tin hat and said, hey, I want to learn how to code. I said, what are we going to do with this? I don't understand.
Contact the aliens?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Literally. But AI... Peanuts. AI... Anyways, I don't think it's going to take anybody's jobs. And I don't think it's something that people should be scared of. I think they should embrace it wholeheartedly. And they should jump on it before it gets too big and you're left behind and you're still figuring out how to prompt ChatGPT. Because life has gone bigger than that.
100%.
People are building apps in like 3 hours
Yeah.
from AI. People are launching multi-million-pound businesses that I've seen on X. Like,
Or because
just
they've
in a
utilized
day because of
yeah.
AI.
And I think, again, this is where my thing of not believing that AI is actually at its solid point yet. Because I think right now what we have is
Very
somewhat
basic.
very close to a super computer. Do you know what I mean? We have Google on steroids.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where we give it what we're looking for, more in depth, and it finds us what we need.
Do you know what? This is like insider scoop. I went to the Meta offices not long ago, and the type of AI that they're using is completely
100%.
different from what we're seeing that's taken out
100%.
already. And I feel like what people are scared of now, what's coming in like the next couple of months,
Way more. Yeah.
it's mind blowing.
But this is what I mean. Because even with that, there's still an element of human control.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Whereas-
always going to be a human in the room.
And that's what I believe. You see, when we reach a point where AI is actually out, I don't know if you watched the movie, The One.
What's that about?
So it's basically about a dystopia
Okay.
where humans and robots have come to kind of like coexist, but now there's a mad fracture.
That's what Elon Musk is trying to do, no?
Yes. Yeah.
Crazy.
But within that, like AI have kind of become alive and they've started to think for themselves. Yeah.
That's
and
literally what he's trying to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my thing is, up until we reach a point where AI is actually able to fundamentally think act, behave, say, do as it wants, I don't think we've reached AI.
I don't think we have.
We haven't.
No.
Because as long as there's human control, we are still in the face of supercomputers. AI truly becomes AI when there's a machine that believes.
That can make their own decisions
Yeah.
and have empathy.
Yes.
That's what scares me the most.
Yeah. And I think it already exists, but the code we don't have enough power for the code.
I think it already exists, but we don't have access to it.
In
I
terms
feel like
of
the AI that we have now is something that was created a few years ago.
100%.
And the AI that's out that we don't have access to is what we just said, empathetic, actually human-like, doesn't need a human to prompt it.
And not empathetic that has been coded into it.
No, like
that
it's
learned from
built that
human
and learned
behavior.
that. Yeah.
And I think, because obviously you see things that a lot of us are not privy to. Yeah. And I think, again, because I don't know if you've heard recently about China creating their first ever quantum cells or quantum computing. I think we're there. I think true AI needs quantum processors, like full-sized quantum processors. Without it, it just does not have enough capacity to.
Do you think the UK has that power at
No.
the moment? I don't think so.
No, I don't even think America has it.
Yeah, no. I think it's going to be China for sure.
110%.
If they haven't done it already.
I'm putting my money on China and Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
putting my
agree.
money 100% on China and Russia coming out with it first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, maybe then AI is going to take our jobs.
Maybe.
Because think about it. No labor.
But will the UK adopt it?
It won't have no choice.
Do you think?
110%. Because what would you do in a world, where anything that a person can do can be sped up day and night, 24/7,
But then what happens to the humans?
This is the crazy thing. I think we're going to adopt a universal system, almost like universal credit.
Okay.
Yeah. Where every single household is going to be given a certain amount of money.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to have actual labor-intensive jobs. Yeah. That's going to make us focus more on our hands. So such as farming.
Right.
Yeah. Going back to like the hunter-gatherer
The
type of
roots,
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what people were saying when they were talking about centralized banks and like the Bitcoin and all of that. Everyone thought that was going to happen. We're going to be given a set allowance for every household.
But that's happening.
A set amount of points based on. It sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah. But do you think that's happening currently?
I feel like we're going into it. Yeah, they're shutting down banks like left, right, and centre. I feel like we're
not just that. Because
no
let's look at London.
We're like, yeah.
London's starting to become a lot, because London's always been a place that centralized with kind of like public transport more than owning your own vehicle. Now, I live in Birmingham. And Birmingham's made for more of normal vehicle, like each person having their own vehicle.
Not in London.
Yeah, and now it's becoming like, even Birmingham's becoming a lot more kind of like catered towards public transport. Do you know what I mean?
Very much public transport. Where are you going? What are you spending your money on?
There you go.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, in Australia and New Zealand, there's a lot of people talking about, I went to the bank and, the bank are asking me, what do I need the money for?
Yeah.
And all of this stuff. And I've got a feeling we're the next ones for that.
It's already happening.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's how you know I don't go to a bank.
I've been questioned so many times. Like, why do you need this much money? Why are you taking it out? Why are you putting in money? Where'd you get the cash from? There are these questions.
Man, them stick
They've
to
got
your
to
cash.
prove it. Huh?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to my cash then. I'm going to stick to my cash. Yeah.
There's a lot of questions.
Okay, so I love the fact that we're talking about, obviously, the development of AI and how technology is progressing throughout times. You've been in it again, and I keep on saying 10 years.
Yeah.
And you've got a young one.
Yeah.
Yeah? Obviously, you get to experience and see a lot of things behind the scenes, more than the average person.
Yeah.
And for the next coming generation, especially like your daughter and her people, not like the current 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, but like her generation. What do you think tech will look like, and what would you be able to contribute to then, or what are you currently doing to kind of like contribute to the people of that age?
What do I think tech will look like when she's like a lot older?
Yeah.
That's a very good question. Never pictured it. I think it would be very much censored. I feel like it's already starting to be very censored.
Heavily.
I feel like a lot of parents are scared of tech. So I'm very big on letting her use tech. I've always have done. I've started to teach her to code from when she was like 4.
Mashallah.
So there's things that parents need to do and be aware of, and not be scared of it. So I get active report of everything she's looked at every day. So I can see what she's done, who she's engaged with, what games she's played, how many hours she's been on that, why she's been on that. I feel like there's ways that you can set up parental controls on iPads. There's all these things.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of people don't do that. They just throw their phone at their kid and they're like, here you go. And there's things that kids have access to that they shouldn't have access to. So we have a no-nonsense policy. There's no social media ever. A lot of her friends are on TikTok. There's all these TikTok dances and all this stuff that... Yeah, I feel like the new age, the new generation, is very much social media heavy.
100%.
It's very much being on screen, and I don't like that. So we have a no social media policy in the house. She doesn't watch anything that's shorter than a minute long.
Okay.
There's no YouTube shorts ever.
Perfect.
We don't allow YouTube in the house. There is no... I don't even scroll on my phone around her. There's none of that mind numbing.
Where she can pick up on...
Yeah. And I feel like it's... I think because I'm in the tech space, I'm aware of what these things do to people. And I can see the effects it has on me. Like, I would be scrolling on TikTok for hours on end. And I don't want that for her.
100%.
And I think the new age of children are very much on screen, on camera.
100%.
As much as I restrict those things, I nurture it in real life. So it's very much, she goes to performing arts school. She's on stage. She has stage presence. People that know her. Like, she's very much takes up space. She's confident. She's able to articulate whatever she needs to articulate. But she doesn't need to be on social media. I don't post her. And once she gets to that age where she's like, okay, I want to be on it, there's going to be heavy restrictions too. But that being said, I feel like education is a must for parents, and they need to look at how they're using social media and what controls they can have on their children, and be a bit flexible. So I let her use Roblox, for instance. But Roblox, I have a Roblox account too. So we're friends on Roblox. I see what friends you have on Roblox. I see your chats. You see whatever. Like, she only has chats with certain people. Other things are blocked. There's no in-game chatting. There's none of that. There's creeps on Roblox.
110%.
Creeps.
100%.
She has access to certain games that are within her age bracket. And if she wants something else, she asks for it. There's a button where she can press. I get an email. Noah wants access to this. I say, why do you need access? We have a conversation. If I say no, it's a no. We have a very much open communication. Always. Yeah, and I feel like I also speak to her about the scariness of the internet. We talk about it.
It's a dark place.
I was on the internet from her age. I was on Habba Hotel talking to grown men. Like, I know what's on there. Habba Hotel's crazy. Bebo, the little...
Oh, my days.
The little Club Penguin.
You see, a lot of people don't understand Bebo.
Bebo, Club Penguin.
High Five.
IMVU. Crazy. Like, I know the world.
That sounds Asian.
Right? Yeah. It's still out there. I googled it the other day. Yeah, Habba Hotel's still active.
That's scary.
People play it. Club Penguins, people still play it.
That's scary.
But even on like other games on your phone, there's people creeps like Ludo, for instance. Of
course.
Ton of creeps.
Yeah.
So yeah, there needs to be restrictions, but also leniency where you're educating your child. Because as much as you try to shelter them and hide that world from them, they're going to be exposed to it either
100%. So I think the next question for you is, obviously, since we're talking about, keeping children safe and everything like that, I don't know how much you keep up when it comes to news. Of course, you probably do a lot more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the whole debate with TikTok was going on and the Americans, and they were like, oh, the kids.
Yeah.
And TikTok came out and they said, but why are your kids using adult accounts? We've got kids accounts. Like, how do you feel about that? And as a parent, talking to other parents, and since you're already in the tech world, is there any apps or any kind of like safety measures that they can take, that you can recommend for them? Yeah, social media, whether it's, because I know there's YouTube Kids and everything like that, but what type of proportions?
YouTube Kids is scary as well. We
100%.
have a no YouTube household. YouTube Kids is insane. The stuff that I've seen on there, there's grown men playing with dolls and they're saying crazy stuff, and you think your child's watching someone playing with something, and it's
not
completely
that.
different. Or there'll be it's crazy stuff I've seen on there. A lot of like trying to figure out where they live and like all this stuff from the videos, and you think it's a harmless video, it's playing in the background, there's a cartoon on the screen, you think there's something else going on, but actually if you listen to the words and what's being said to your child,
It's crazy.
it's insane.
Okay, so how can parents protect themselves from that then? Apart from saying, you know what?
Don't throw your phone at your child. I've seen so many parents do that. Just shut them up. Go on YouTube, watch whatever. I've seen like placeholder words like sex and drugs and marijuana and alcohol on kids shows on YouTube Kids. And it looks harmless. It's like strawberry shortcake or whatever running around, or Hello Kitty running around, and there's stuff in there. You need to know what your child's watching and why they're watching it. How much time are they spending on this? Have dialogue. I've been talking to my child since she could speak. Like, we have prompts. She knows what's dangerous, what's not.
Okay.
Just be honest as well and open. I feel like parents are very much like no, and just they'll give them it anyway, and they don't know what their child's doing half the time. And that's what causes the majority of the problems.
I hear that and I feel that.
Yeah.
I think tremendously as an older brother, you know. Obviously not a father yet, but I'm a father figure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can like resonate with a lot of things that you said, because I think child protection should always be the highest thing. And I think these companies, they are very lax when it comes to especially the protection of children. Because if you're telling me you have a whole group of people that are dedicated to just making sure that minors are okay, but you are letting through all of this stuff, it says a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's one thing. And obviously we live in the UK.
Yeah.
And the tech industry, I think in the UK started to my knowledge, it started to bloom off a lot more around COVID and just after COVID.
Yeah.
In comparison to a lot of people say, our cousins in the States,
Yeah.
they're the guys over the other side of the pond. It's always, to what I've always kind of like encountered, whether it was online or the very short times I've been there, tech has always been something massive over there. And I think in terms of the disparity in pay, is massively different. So with obviously your experience and everything, the current tech climate in London, not just the UK, just in London, just for you, what do you think the next step is, and especially how can it be improved?
As in pay?
Not just pay, just the overall...
The overall tech space?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I feel like we're never going to be at the same level as the US. I feel like they're miles ahead with everything. I feel like we're very late. It would be amazing if the UK pioneered something and we were like the leaders. They
Maybe
tried
you are the one.
With like the Silicon Valley stuff. They copied America and they created like a whole hub in Shoreditch in London. And they put all the cool brands in there. And they tried it, but it failed miserably.
Yeah.
But I think...
Not even in Canary Wharf?
No.
Shoreditch?
Canary Wharf is very much banks and stuff. Shoreditch, Old Street is kind of
more like the
tech
hip
space.
Yeah.
More hip. But it failed miserably. Damn. A lot of them moved out because the rent was crazy. But I feel like there's no support in the space either. I feel like people are very much gatekeepy. And it's a click. You need to know the right WhatsApp group to get the right job. You need to know the right people to get the right job. You need to be in the right spaces to get the job. I advocate a lot about building your own personal brand. I feel like that's what helped me a lot in my career. And I feel like in the London space, it's very much clicky. So I'm in a lot of tech WhatsApp groups. And sometimes jobs are announced on there before they're brought out, and they've already hired someone before they're put out to the public, and that happens.
That's crazy.
So you need to be in the right spaces with the right people, and I feel like London's horrible. But in America, I feel like everyone brings everybody in, and they're very much like, hey, do this course and I'll get you a job. In order for you to succeed in London, it's either create your own business, create your own space, make your own money, or contracting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think a regular 9 to 5 job is going to get you anywhere.
Okay, so you are advocating more for people to actually go on and become a contractor.
Yeah, or build your own business.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. And again, with your amazing experience, like we said earlier, when I quickly just skimmed past, how a lot of people have created courses.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And I'm not talking about the guys that are really, really good. I'm talking about like the ones that are just doing it for the money.
There's a lot of scam artists. I feel like you can learn to code by yourself online. You don't need to pay for a course. Unless it's really, really niche, and that's a small thing. Yes.
Okay.
But there's a lot of free courses that you can do. There's apprenticeships now. There's YouTube is free. If you spend the time and dedicate it, you can do it. You don't need a boot camp.
Okay. And how would you say is the best way to kind of like say, okay, yeah, you know what, this person, scammy,
I feel
and this
like
person's calm.
If they're trying to gatekeep the information, I've seen a lot of people firsthand, and I know a lot of these people as well that build these courses. And they're like, hey, pay 10 grand, I'll get you a job.
10 grand?
I've heard people pay 10 grand for like a 3-week course in website.
Is that in dollars, shillings, naira? 10 British big pounds.
People are so desperate to get a job, especially in this climate. They will pay whatever if they feel like they're going to get the foot in the door. A majority of the time, they're let down. They haven't built the skills in 3 weeks. If the course is less than, I would say, 3 months, you're being scammed.
Okay.
If someone says to you, I can make you a full stack developer in 6 weeks, they're an absolute liar. If someone says to you, pay me 20 grand and then I'll help you, 0 cents. But people are throwing, I could have been scamming. Do you know what I mean? People are throwing
business.
No, I would never do that. I feel like people are like throwing money at anything for like a straw to try and get their foot in the door. And they'll be like, hey, I'll let you network with XYZ and I'll get you a job. And in the end, they don't get a job. I've spoken to so many people that have gone through these courses. I'm like thinking of one specific person, but I'm not going to do that here. And they've scammed so many people and they haven't learned anything. And they're still selling these courses and people are still buying it. Like, talk to people and ask, did this course work for you? Do you have the people that have gotten jobs? Where's the results? What's the percentage of people that have gotten a job after 3 weeks? Because that's unheard of.
That bad?
That bad.
That's mental.
Yeah.
And again, going back to you being a mother, yeah, and especially a woman of color, yeah. Us as humans, we always try to find balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said at the beginning, there was no time for balance.
Yeah.
It was just go. There's a young person there depending on you. Survival mode. I need to do better. I need to do this.
Yeah.
But now as someone that I would say has kind of come to a point of a certain level of establishment, someone that's kind of like got their stuff together, isn't in full survival mode. Now you've survived.
Chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your balance looking like?
Now or back then?
Now,
I feel like I'm a lot more balanced. I feel like I can feel myself when I'm about to burn out. I can tell when I need to take a break. In the beginning, there was no balance. It's something has to give. You're either a great 100% mum and you're 50% at work or 30% at work. You can't have two brains.
100%.
Something has to give. But now I feel like, alhamdulillah, like I have that balance and I've understood what I need to do when I need to do it. So my work time is my work time. I switch it off. And then her time is her time. My mother time is my time. And my time is my time.
100%.
So I have that balance too.
So at what point did you feel like, okay, hey, I've reached it. I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I can do the on and off thing now?
That's a really good question.
Because a lot of people, like, I know people that are extremely successful.
It's very hard to switch off.
That's it. And they still haven't switched off.
It's very, very hard.
Do you know, like, I can call one of my friends right now and even though he's done well for himself.
Yeah.
And his kids are, how do I say, in a good position in life. And he doesn't need to go as hard as he does.
Yeah.
He still is not able to switch off. He's still working till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
I feel like when your body gives up. That's what happened to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, like burnout. Your body's just done. And you're like, okay, you need to take that rest. And that was quite recently, actually. I don't think I've had my shit together the whole entire time.
Damn.
I'd say recently. Maybe like a year. Give myself a year. Where I've actually been like, cool, you need to balance things and actually take care of yourself because otherwise you're going to die.
110%. 110%.
12-hour days, 18-hour days are crazy.
Of course.
And people shouldn't be doing that.
Especially when you're going back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. And another question for you is obviously with burnout, it comes with a certain level of, how do I say, mental pressure, mental withdrawal. Like, you don't feel like you want to do anything else. Like, you've done everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the main thing I kind of want to get your perspective of is when you are in that position of just go, you surely come across a lot of discrimination,
100%.
whether it's direct or
Fully
under the
direct.
layers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as someone who's in survival mode, yeah, just trying to get to point A to point B and do better for herself.
Yeah.
How do you operate in those type of situations as a woman?
With
of colour?
discrimination.
Yes.
You have to rise above it, really. Sometimes I'm the petty of the petty. Like, something happened recently where I was leading on a project for the last 2 years. Project was near the end. Raised a lot of money for it. It was going really, really well. I had to present it to a group of people, and the group of people were men. And it was very much them picking it apart. Instead of picking apart the project, they're picking apart me. So it was, I set this meeting.
Okay.
There was a few university lecturers in there and a few other people in the tech space. The few people in the tech space knew who I was and we were working on a project together. The university lecturers were new. And it was very much, who is this? Like, I'm midway through my presentation. I've introduced myself. We've all introduced ourselves. I'm through speaking about the project. We're halfway through. And I've noticed it's always the other ethnic person that questions your accolades.
100%.
And it was very much like, who are you? What university did you go to? I'm like, we're talking about a project that has nothing to do with this. And I'm very petty in those circumstances. So I switched off my presentation. I said, I invited you here. Do I need to reintroduce myself? And then I was like, let's do that for you since you're hard of hearing. So I reintroduced myself and I was like, you've been invited here for X project. What has my university degree got to do? What university did you go to? And it was very much like, oh, and then the tech people were trying to get involved and they're like, hey, it's not like that. I was like, if you don't want to listen to the project, leave my meeting. I was like, furthermore, I don't even want you here anymore. Leave the meeting. And it was very much, sometimes I go petty. Sometimes I kick people out of the boardroom. I've done that before. I've had people question why I speak about diversity a lot. It's like, diversity's dead now. We're over it. Boo-hoo, George Floyd, get over it. I've had that. Someone said that to my face. It's like, oh, you got here because you're a woman and you're black. Diversity higher. I've gotten that so many times. And it's very much get out of the room. Like, I don't want you here. Like, we're not doing this meeting. Goodbye. And I feel like I've reached that point now where it's very much no bullshit anymore. But I feel like in the beginning, it was very much scared to say anything. And I speak to a lot of women that are in the same space where they're like, hey, I'm being undermined. Someone's talking over me. Someone's shouting over me during a meeting. Someone's trying to present my idea as theirs. It's happened to me so many times. I'll present an idea and someone will say the exact same thing I did and they'll listen to what he said. But I've gotten to a point where now it's very much like, that was my idea. What are you talking about? The whole meeting will stop. Everyone will listen to me. I don't care. I will shout because it's me and it's mine and I deserve to be in this space. I crafted this space. It's for me and I'm taking this space. I feel like a lot of people are intimidated with women getting into the space, especially black Muslim women in the space, because it's not meant for you. It wasn't never meant, they never envisioned you in that space. And now that we're in that space and we're talking about the same things that they're talking about, that they've gatekept for many years, it's very much, they're scared. There's a lot of people that also advocate for us. And alhamdulillah, I've met really great white male men that have advocated for me and said, hey, Hana speaking, or what? Why are you saying that? Or I'll say, get out of the room, and they'll be like, yeah, get out of the room. There's also allies and there's people that advocate and champion you. But it's about championing yourself first. 100%. Because if I didn't shout and scream, no one would have said anything. Then no one would have batted an eye.
Yeah, no one's getting out there if you're not doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, one thing that I heavily believe in. And again, congratulations. You deserve your flowers every single day for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think the next part is going to go straight into kind of the back of what you just said. You know, the fact that no one would have gotten up for me if I didn't get up for myself.
Yeah.
So with that being the case, and you kind of being a trailblazer in your own set, yeah, how do you stay focused on the mission? How do you stay focused on what matters at hand there and then? You know, and not say, you know what, I got myself here, I've done everything. Let everyone else do their own thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been that type of person. I'm very much bring everyone with you, even though no one's brought me with them.
Yeah.
It's very much about community, because I feel like if it's just you, you're not going to get far. And if you build a community around yourself, there's more people that look like you, there's more people advocating for the cause, there's less need to shout and scream. I feel like I've reached a point now where I'm going to events and I see so many, okay, granted sometimes it's the same faces, but it's people that look like me, and we're so excited to see each other. I'm like, oh my God, you're here, you're here, you're here. And I don't have to feel like the odd person out in the room. And I don't have to feel like I'm the only person being questioned, because we're all here. And I feel like the majority wins always.
100%.
To say I went to Black Tech Fest last year, and that was incredible. And I saw a ton of Somali girls that got into tech.
So just for the people that don't know what that is, what does that comprise of?
Black Tech Fest.
Yeah.
So it's a big
And
gathering.
where, and is it always in the same place? Or?
It's not in the same place.
Okay.
They change it every year. It's very much a beautiful space where people come together and they speak about tech, they speak about lifestyle, and you don't feel like you're being judged. And there's people there that are open and honest, and they're ready to have conversations with you. And usually they're from bigger companies. So Google was there. I met amazing people from Google, and they were hiring. Deliveroo was there. It's fun. It's a vibe. You get cultural food. You feel like you're in your element in your space. But as much as it's Black Tech Fest, there was a ton of Somali people there, which I've never seen before, because I've been going for years.
Okay.
And
how did that make you feel?
I loved it. I felt like, oh my God, my people are in the space. Like, we're here. And it's nice. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
I really enjoy it.
I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so one thing that I've always wanted to ask you, is you've worked with massive names.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, Uber, AWS.
Yeah.
It's almost like an intersector.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with all of those things, obviously there's, you know how you got there.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people out there, they have no idea. Yeah. So if someone was to say, hey, Hana, I want to one day work with these big names.
Yeah.
Yeah. What 3 pieces of advice can you think from the top of your head, yeah, to kind of like help them get into that place?
Briefly mentioned it, but personal brand.
Okay.
I feel like my name's in rooms before I'm in there.
Okay. Love to hear that.
People will advocate for me without me being there. So personal brand. Go to networking events.
Okay.
I feel like everyone shouts about it, but they really make a difference.
Okay.
Most of the jobs I've gotten have been from networking events.
Okay.
Most of the opportunities I've gotten have been from networking events.
Okay.
Just speaking to the right people. People want to help if you actually have a conversation with them. Relate to them. Even if you don't care as much. If someone said, oh my God, my dog. Wow, you have a dog?
Have a dog.
Relate to people. Talk to people. People love talking about themselves. Ask them questions. It'll open doors for you. And 3, I feel like I've always had a professional way about me. Okay. I'm not very... What's the word that I'm looking for? I don't know. But I'm very professional in all senses. If it's a social setting, if it's a networking space, you don't want to like hit a blunder before you've actually spoken to someone. People are always observing and watching you. So I feel like act how you want to be addressed. That's 100%. That's what I advise people to do.
110%.
Yeah.
110%. Okay. And now we're going to dive into your love life. Yeah. As someone that obviously, like I said, trailblazer, done amazing stuff.
Right.
You are no longer in survival mode. You have survived.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You have won the Hunger Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does your love life look at the moment then? In terms of...
my love life.
Yeah, speaking to the opposite gender.
Crickets.
Wow.
I'm very much single.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm ready to mingle.
Okay.
Very much single. I feel like this space is really hard. I've had conversations about this with a lot of people, and being successful and also looking for love is very, very hard. I feel like a lot of people are intimidated. A lot of people are worried. So many people have asked me to leave my job and stop working.
Wait, in order for them to pursue
Yeah.
something with you,
Yeah.
you have to
People have asked
sacrifice
me-
your
yeah.
work. Okay.
I want you to stay at home. I'm like, what am I going to do at home? Like,
Like I've already had a child and I was outside already.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very difficult.
Okay.
I feel like my criteria is also very like to the T. Like I know what I'm looking for, and yeah, I haven't found it yet. Yeah.
Okay. And when it comes to kind of like talking to the opposite gender,
Yeah.
still within your love life, obviously. Do they need to have some form of understanding in what you do
Yeah.
in order for you to have a connection? Or is it, you know what, I don't mind as long as they just got something going?
Yeah, like I need you to be ambitious and like about your money, 100%. I
Get
don't really
that coin.
care if you know anything about tech. Like I can teach you, but I'd rather be with someone that can teach me stuff as well.
Okay.
I don't want us to be in the same field. I've dated tech bros and it didn't work out. It's very much a piss contest. I don't like that. Yeah. You said
Really?
you know Golang? Okay, show me what you can do.
You're joking.
Swear to God.
Okay, sounds like a 5-school
I
playground.
can't.
Like,
I
sounds
can't do
lit.
it. Tech bros are not for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd rather someone that's not within the field,
Okay.
but can champion me as well. I've had people that have been very intimidated when they've come to see me speak, and they're like, "Oh, like you have a stage presence, or you're networking with hundreds of people. How are you doing that? Oh, I don't want you on stage. Everyone's looking at you.
Close your eyes.
Like I've been on stage before you. I'm going to be on stage after you.
So now just close your
What
eyes.
are we doing here?
That's it.
I told you I do public speaking. What did you think? I was talking to the wall in my room.
Sometimes I sit down, sometimes I stand up.
But no, it's very difficult. I want someone that champions me, that I can champion as well. Yeah.
Okay. Talking of champions, yeah. If you was an app for a week,
An app.
and this is like your champion app, like the
my
creme de la creme.
Okay.
You know how I like France.
Yeah.
So this is like your pain au chocolat.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is your croissant, your buttered up croissant.
Like croissant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What app would you be for that week?
Oh my God. I don't know. That's
Like-
very difficult.
Yeah, everyone, if you're listening, whatever app she says, yeah, it's probably a gold mine. So I'm definitely gonna be searching it up later.
What app would I be?
Like the app that you're always like, yeah, you know what? This one is me. Like, this does something for me every day.
The only app that I use every single day is my notes app. I don't know if I'd
Okay.
be the notes app though.
Yeah, that's like my boring life.
Literally my notes app. I think I'd be the notes app. I'm constantly jotting things down in there.
Okay, but
Thoughts, business ideas, wild ideas,
okay.
lists. Maybe a calendar app. I feel like my brain's very much like a calendar.
I'm trying to create a calendar app.
Are you?
Yeah, that manages finances
That would be amazing.
and everything else all together.
I need that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an active spreadsheet for my finances.
Okay.
And it's linked to my bank account and like, yeah.
Okay.
But it's not a calendar.
Mm.
And I like calendar apps. Maybe the calendar. I'm very boring. Very organized though.
Exactly.
I have a calendar for everything. You name it. I think if I get married again, I would have a calendar for my husband. Like a husband tab. You got a booking
Monday,
time,
Tuesday, Wednesday.
date night.
Mm.
Yeah, everything's booked in. Otherwise, it's not happening.
No, that makes sense. I mean, and of course, the structure brings stability,
It does. I
which
like
is good
structure.
for you. Yeah. No, 110%. Okay, so we've already spoken about tech startup or big corp, yeah?
Yeah.
I believe there's no such thing as a loss or a fail, to be more precise. I don't believe it's failure is
Yeah,
a
same.
final thing. Okay, so can you remember within the last 5 years
Okay.
a moment where you thought you had failed big time, but then the bounce back and the lesson that you learned was the biggest blessing you can think of?
Ooh. A big failure.
Mm.
To be honest, I don't see failure as a thing. I see it as like a lesson. And I move forward. I think I lost a big contract,
Okay.
but that wasn't due to me. That was due to them and their finances.
I like
And I
that.
saw that as like a loss.
Yeah.
Because I was like, damn, like I was counting on that coin. But it was very much like, oh, what could I have done to like salvage that relationship? Because I'm very big on salvaging relationships. I had someone reach out to me recently to spin it that I met 3 years ago on New Year's Eve randomly, and they emailed me to be like, hey, literally this week, I gave me an email address on New Year's Eve. I wanted you to build me XYZ, and I was going to reach out to you, and I knew that I would need to one day. But if networking, salvaging relationships. So that one that I lost was like a big loss, and I was like, damn, what could I have done? But yeah, I moved past it. I got a bigger contract a couple of months down the line, and I thought to myself, okay, if I would have stayed with that previous contract, I wouldn't have got this one that was bigger. Yeah. So alhamdulillah, I think every failure and every loss always opens the door for something else.
Okay. And a couple of Spitfire rounds now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a couple of Spitfire rounds, yeah? So, number 1. And I need you off the top. Boom, boom, boom,
okay.
boom, boom. Yeah? So, number 1.
Okay.
If you was not in the tech industry
God.
and pushing the barriers for women, what would you do?
Pushing the barriers for women and not in tech? Can it just be something that I want to do and not pushing the barriers for women? I don't know what I'd do, not pushing the barriers for women. I'd probably be in law.
Huh?
Yeah, that's so left field. I'd probably be in law and then advocating for women and refugees and stuff. That's what I would do.
Okay, so always women and refugees and everything like that. Always helping the little guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably in law.
Okay, excellent.
I see myself as a lawyer.
Okay, all right then. If you had 5 minutes to create a website.
Yeah.
And the website had to be all about you.
Okay.
Yeah. What platform would you use to create that website? Or would you just go straight Java and write everything down?
I'd probably use AI, to be honest.
Okay. No, AI wasn't available to you.
I'd have to use a building platform.
Yeah.
Probably Squarespace.
Okay.
Easy, quick.
Click on, click off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Next one. Your entire day was compromised of apps.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's limit it to 4 apps.
Okay.
What would that day look like?
Google Calendar app.
Okay.
The Notes app. I use Twitter a lot, even though it's kind of dead right now.
Twitter is fun.
I use Twitter a lot.
But my For You page on all social media is just weird.
So X. And TikTok.
Okay.
It's a bit wild, but yeah, TikTok.
TikTok's fun though.
I love it.
Yeah, TikTok's
I use
fun.
it as Google search, to be honest.
I don't blame you. It is the new search engine.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Next one.
Yeah.
If you had a superpower.
Okay.
Yeah. And your superpower was fully based within the tech industry.
Oh, okay.
What would it be?
Damn.
Yeah. Like it didn't work nowhere else
Just
but the tech industry.
I feel like I have a superpower. Building communities. That's my superpower. In the tech space.
Yeah.
But no, what superpower?
Like an actual supernatural superpower.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe faster typing. I really type already.
That's the funniest thing. That's what I wrote.
Really?
Yeah.
Fast typing.
Yeah. Interesting. But you type fast though.
I do. I type really fast. Did you see the video I did the other day? Click clacky.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think I do 200 and something words per minute. Maybe 250.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I only managed like 122, 125 max.
250. It used to be like 350. I've gone slower. Yeah. I was really quick.
Robotic.
You just got to get your kids onto touch typing early. I can like look around the house and like touch type.
Oh, no, same. I can do that on my phone. I'll be like, yeah.
Not on my phone, but on the keyboard. Yeah.
Okay. I hear that. Okay. Let me see. Which one do I want to ask you? So this part is kind of like a bit more structured.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest was kind of like free flowing, as you can kind of like see. Oh, I've always wanted to know this one. Within the last week.
Okay.
What's something you found out that you geeked out about? Like, there's no tomorrow.
Something I found out in the last week.
Yeah. Let's be kind. Within the last year.
I can do the last week.
Okay, let's do the last week.
So I really like Notion. I love Notion. But I found something similar to Notion that's so much better.
Okay.
That I geeked out on. Called Coda.
Okay.
It's like a filing system, and I've been using it the whole week to like organize my life.
Okay, so I think with Notion, if I remember correctly, that's the one that has the notes and everything.
Yeah.
And you can kind of like interconnect them.
different.
Okay.
It's like Google on steroids, and like it links to everything. I know Notion can link to things as
Yeah,
well. Shout
but
out
it's
to Notion.
long.
Shout out to Notion.
Yeah, shout out to Notion.
But like Coda is really cool. Like,
Okay.
and I really enjoy it. I feel like they took the idea of Notion, the idea of Google, and just blended it into one baby.
Into one
And I love
superpower.
it.
Yeah.
That's what I geeked out on this
Okay.
week.
I like that. And to wrap this up,
Yeah.
I really want to ask you this question. Kind of leave it on a high note.
Okay.
Yeah, but kind of like a bit touch my
Yeah.
heart type of note.
Oh,
Yeah. And that question is, what is the last message you can remember of someone who messaged you that just let it all out to let you know, hey, listening to you and following your journey really helped me in XYZ, and I just want to give you your flowers. The one story that always sticks out with you.
So I left a job recently that I was at for 5 years, and I worked with a lot of adults that were career switching into technology. I received a really nice message like in the last couple of weeks, and it's from one of my students that was going through a very difficult time. I'm not going to go into it, but he managed to get a job and also get promoted based on advice that I gave him years ago.
Okay.
And it really stuck out to him. It was very much like, why not you? That was literally my question. I'm very big on coaching people, but in a compassionate way. So it's very much you come to the answer. I'll guide you there, but it's your answer and your ownership and your accountability and whatever. But it was very much, we had a conversation and I said, why not you? And I feel like that stuck with him, where he was like, whenever I'm doubting myself or I'm thinking, hey, I've got kids, or I used to be a bus driver for 10 years, or I don't know this, like I can't do this. Or it's always what I said was, why not you?
Okay.
And he said he got promoted recently to like a really good position within the tech space.
Congratulations.
And he
to him.
said when he was prepping for that interview, he could hear my voice saying, why not you? I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cry, stop it. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And just before I kind of like sign it out,
Yeah.
Imagine it's 15 years into the future. 15 years, your daughter would be a big woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully doing the same thing as her daughter, as her mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's one message you would leave for her and her generation? If you could just leave one message.
Well, she's going to be like 23, 24.
Yeah. 15 years should be like 24, turning 25.
Yeah. Take up space. Don't listen to anyone's bullshit. I tell her this every day before she goes to school.
Okay, so this is what you tell her every day.
Take up space.
This is a message
for her.
For her. So imagine
It's still the same. Take up space.
Everything's distorted.
Don't listen to anyone's
and out of
bullshit.
nowhere, your face comes up. So go ahead.
Hi. Don't listen to people's bullshit. Remember who you are. You're my child. And there's no reason to settle for less. I hate when people say reach for the stars. I say reach beyond the stars. And this is something that I say to her all the time. Reach beyond the stars.
100%.
And you're meant to be where you are. And there's a reason why you're there. And yeah, don't let anyone talk you out of your position.
I like that.
We have this conversation almost every day
I like
before she
that.
goes to school.
Military routine.
Genuinely, yeah. It
Absolutely
works.
love it. Absolutely love. Because again, every time you post and every time you talk about her, I can kind of see why now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Allahumma barak, especially the fact that she comes across as someone that is a lot more developed compared to her peers.
Yeah.
Allahumma barak. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always protect her, guide her.
Ameen.
And may no bad notion or evildoer ever come in her path.
Ameen.
May angels guide her, protect her from all four angles.
Ameen.
And make she make you proud in every sense of the word proud.
She really makes me proud.
Yeah.
Every day.
I'm genuinely clapping because again, that's beautiful within itself. Yeah. Again, HanaCodes.
HanaCodes.
Hana. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
It was fun. And I think my 2 brain cells learnt a lot.
I'm glad.
And I'm going to apply to your tea and your game in terms of teaching a 70-year-old and an 8-year-old, because I can be both within the same time at times. I think I'm gonna apply that to the Notion and see how it goes, inshallah.
Yeah.
Other than that, hopefully you guys have also, picked up some things. Yeah. If you haven't, watch it again. Listen carefully. Get your notebooks out. Become the notes in your phone.
Literally become the notes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just jot down some stuff. If you are interested in obviously getting to know more about her work and everything of that sort, would you like to plug yourself?
I'm HanaCodes everywhere, so you can find me.
You see what I'm saying? HanaCodes everywhere. Why? Because she's in the code. Yeah. So
In the
again,
code.
yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this conversation. It's been me, myself, and I, Mr. Shamsuddin. I said my full name. This is the first time I said it out loud, you know. It's always Sham. But yeah, and you've been listening to Dots. Hopefully you've understood what Dots is. Why? Because it's the Department of Talking what?
Sense.
Yes. Yeah. Have a great evening.
I love that. That was lovely.
Yeah.